YouTube and the Zoom's up. And everybody's here. So we can start whenever you're ready.
Acting chair.
Would you like me to do that?
What?
Do you want me to do that for us?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be acting chair.
You did a nice job the last
You thought
time.
so?
Yeah.
Thanks for the compliment. All right. So I'll be opening the meeting tonight as a call to order. And we have a quorum here with 4 of us present so that we can have a vote at the end of the meeting if need be. And on the agenda tonight is the 2 properties in question, right? The first one is the 37 Green Lane. Is that your property, sir?
Yep, Geo Lane. Correct.
Okay. So what we'll do is we're gonna give you the time to come and present to the appeals board your what you need from the town and what the issues are that we're deciding. And so we'll give you the time that you need to do that in.
Sure.
Yep.
I had drafted a new cover letter, from the original meeting in February. It was apparent that there was some issues with forms and so forth, so I, in the meantime, had gotten the new forms and put together a new cover letter. Essentially, all the information other than the cover letter was the same. I submitted in February. Gives you some pictures and some descriptors of what I'm going to do and with some drawings and some measurements. I'm requesting that I can have my setback reduced from 30 feet to 15 feet on one side of the property to allow for the construction of a garage. And there were a number of things I saw that were contained in the request as far as items to meet. One of them was unique circumstances, and I had typed into that as far as an answer to that it basically was due to the limited building envelope and the relocation of the proposed structures impacted by topographical features. It's a fairly good hillside with a down gradient grade to it towards the water. And that impacts the practical ability to locate it elsewhere. If the variance were to be granted, I can't see how it would impact the essential character of the neighborhood. It's going to be in keeping with the home, same style, and should not have any impact in that neighborhood. Action taken by the applicant, not due to the actions of myself or the prior owner, more due to the considerations of how the property is structured. The budding property will not impact the value of any budding property. The nearest budding residence to the building is about 300 feet. I have a neighbor on each side. They're close to equidistant, and I've spoken with both of them. And of course, they have been notified. So about the project, they didn't have any objections. And as far as the need, the granting variance will allow substantial savings on fill necessary to avoid potential relocation to utilities, plus give me some significant financial relief. So I would have to probably relocate my water line and some gas lines, and I would need some additional fill if I was going to have to put it in a different location. So those were the things on that particular part. I did see also that they had in the beginning on the appeal form, the explanation of 4 tests, which the first one, the need for variances due to the unique circumstances, which I had already answered for that. The second thing, which would be a little different, the land in question can't yield a reasonable return unless the variance is granted. So if I couldn't basically have the variance or the reduction in setback, I'd be building a smaller garage that would equal less square footage, which does equal a financial impact. Granting the variance, it shouldn't alter will not alter the essential character of the locality. And as I had answered before, the fourth one on that was the not the action of myself requiring. So I had also spoken with the neighbor that was on the abutting side with regard to it, because I'd read in the regulation that that if the board were to grant me a variance, that the greatest that you'd be able to do is a 50% or I'm sorry, a 20% reduction, which would equal about 6 feet, which wouldn't be very helpful to me. So I did obtain a letter from them, from the owners of record, stating that they didn't have any objection to me having it reduced to the 15 feet, 50 by 50%. So that's where I'm at with that.
Okay. And that's the entirety of the evidence that you brought today and just, it's basically the testimony and the pictures in front of us. Does the board have any questions?
I don't, you say you got letters from the abutter?
I did. I have a letter from the abutter. I can give you a copy here. Owners of record of the abutting property.
There you go.
Like to. Their packet, I guess.
Well, give a copy.
Oh, sure. You.
You make a scan, if you want.
What's that?
You make a scan so I can add it to the.
This photograph. The proposed garage is,
Mhm.
you know. There,
See what, looking at here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see in the dark, but basically to the left, right? Yeah,
Right,
of the main building.
but that doesn't exist right now.
No, that doesn't exist. There's nothing there right now. Correct. Yeah, it's a little easier to see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that to scale?
No, it was very
Okay.
difficult to try and scale it, as far as its location, yeah.
And what I can't actually ascertain, it looks from the rendering.
Yep.
That, is it just the rear corner of the
Would
building?
be essentially
is-
back over the 30-foot line.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that drawing would be as if it were placed on that 30-foot line, essentially, more or less. I haven't done a final dimension yet on the garage as far as the design or gone for blueprints.
Thank you.
Because I wanted to see how I made out first with the variance, because it's
Thank you.
affected, because if I get the variance, then I'm gonna have a smaller building. It obviously wouldn't be located there, so.
Well, are there potentially other viable options that
As
you
far as the
might be
type of building I
considering?
wanted to build and size,
Mm.
no, I've tried to figure 6 ways from Sunday on where I would put it. If I put it forward of the house, it would kind of block the view of the driveway and the road. So looking from the front of the house and the kitchen, from a practical standpoint, I didn't want to, I guess they call it kind of, I don't know, it's the right expression, snot nose, where it's pushed out in front of the house, and I
Mhm.
don't really like that expression, but it would block the view that way. So, and then the other direction, I would wind up having to probably dig up my well lines and my gas line for the heat to the house and relocate those. So I'm trying to avoid that.
So if you made it smaller, you wouldn't leave it there.
If I made it smaller, I probably wouldn't be, no, I wouldn't be putting it in that location. I'd probably have to move it a little bit forward or come up with an entirely different design. Yeah.
Because again, it's hard for us to see, but right now you're planning a 30 by 40-foot garage. From the rendering, and I understand it's not to scale, it's hard to really ascertain that if, let's say there was a reduction from 40 feet to 35 feet, is that just enough to have your corner not impinge upon, the
Right.
30 feet? Because it almost looks the way you drew it,
I've
like
got
it's a
Right
smidgen.
now, I have about 42 feet from the corner of the building to the 30-foot setback mark. When I had determined that I would need another 15 feet, so I'd have space between the building and the house, because I don't want to attach the garage to the house. So that's why I was trying to get more towards that 50% reduction to the 15 feet from the left side of the house. So like I said, right now, it's currently 42 feet from the corner of my existing home to where the 30-foot setback line is. I wanted to try and go back to the 15 feet. That would give me some additional room so that I wouldn't have it attached to the house. I'm trying to do a separate building.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, it is right, the property is an odd shape, you know, it's not a conventional shape.
Pizza, yeah.
But, and then the proposed garage also isn't sitting sort of parallel to the property line,
Right.
you know, so it's really hard to,
It's kind of angled a little bit as you
Mhm.
see it, as it's drawn there in the picture I had given, it was kind of more squared to the line, it would be
Mhm.
more kind of to the left, and the back corner would be over that 30-foot mark.
Right.
But the furthest point that I would be approaching would be 15 feet from the property line. But I don't even think I'd get all the way up to that with the building.
And
There
you-
is a little bit of room envelope wise me to slide it forward and back, you know?
right,
And I'm
or,
gonna try and slide it more forward and angle it more than is shown.
So
So-
the maximum encroachment would be 15 feet.
Yeah, the maximum that I'd be going is right to the 15-foot setback
Okay.
line. The building wouldn't, that's what I'm requesting, is to have the setback reduced by 50%. But I don't anticipate, it wouldn't be like the entire building would not be located right up onto the 15-foot mark. It'd be probably more likely the back left corner.
right,
It would be the closest portion, so it's not the whole building, that's not my
Yeah.
intent, no.
and again, the angle of the proposed garage is primarily driven because by the desire to have it be not so close to the side of your house.
Correct.
You mentioned the utilities too, where do they
The
kind of,
utilities come in along the front, to the front of the building, the front of the left side of the existing building. So the closer I get to that, the more likely the, pad would be over the utilities.
so moving the structure forward more would
Moving the
impede
structure
upon,
Back more would allow me to be away from the utilities, correct?
right? Or, and conversely, moving the structure forward to get that rear left corner away from the setback line would be then imposing upon your utilities.
Right.
And then you also mentioned that the property is not level,
It's a downhill gradient.
because you
so-
talked about fill,
Right,
you know.
Right,
mhm.
there'd be a fair amount of cut and fill if I moved it more forward to the other area where I really don't want it located, because then I'd have more utilities to do.
Mhm.
There's a little bit more fill in the back that I brought in from the house we built.
Where would cars enter the garage on it?
Essentially, the front doors of the garage would be sort of perpendicular to the house, essentially. So if you were looking straight at the house, you'd be almost taking sort of a hard left, or it's gonna be actually kind of diagonal, at a diagonal to an extent.
So it's on the
The-
40-foot side?
Yeah,
It'd be on the narrow side, on the gable end of the building. I'm planning on building almost like a cape style with a lean-to shelter off one side, In fact, one side of it that would be closer to the setback wouldn't even be an enclosed portion of the building. It would just be the lean-to part for me to put a boat, tractor, and other things on it.
So the garage wouldn't be in the variance zone, it would be the actual overhanging structure.
The structure itself, though, yeah, but it's still part of the structure, correct? I think it's gonna be about a 12-foot overhang, roof over it. Shed roof.
And again, if you were to put that overhanging structure on the other side, closer to the house, it would be too close to the house, that it would be undesirable.
I prefer to put it on the left side than the right side for that reason, yeah. Proximity to the house.
Roughly, what is the footage between where you'd like to put it and the side of the house? That, you're trying to maintain the
Oh, okay,
distance?
so, yeah, like right now, I'm trying to maintain at least a 10-foot, space between the house and the beginning of the building, preferably a little bit more, maybe a couple more feet, so. Right now, from the edge of the house to there, it's 42 feet. The building's gonna be about 40 to 42 feet with the lean-to and the garage itself. One side to the other, so if I had 15 feet of setback from my building and I went to 15, that would allow me enough space, yeah. Then the back corner would still be up against that 15-foot setback line, and I would still have about 15 feet to the building. Yeah.
And if you don't succeed in getting the variance, how compromised would your garage be?
I'm probably gonna wind up reducing the size of it by probably close to 40 to 50% anyways, just to get it so I can fit it and have enough space from the 30-foot mark. I've been out there and with a tape and everything and put a million stakes out there, pulled them up and redone them and try to figure 6 ways from Sunday which way I could make it fit in the space, yeah.
So since you don't have definite plans yet, you're seeking that 15 additional feet to give you a little bit more wiggle room, but the final garage may or may not overhang, or
Well, I
will
mean,
definitely overhang.
I will not go beyond, if you reduce the setback to 15 feet,
Yeah,
I'm allowed to have a 50% reduction, I'm obviously gonna honor that setback, and I would be up against that setback, but I wouldn't be over it. I just looking to gain that 15 feet between 30 feet, if I went from a 30-foot setback down to 15 feet,
and a 20% difference, the 6 additional feet instead of 15?
I'd take whatever I could get.
Hmm,
I mean, but 6 feet I don't think would be particularly helpful, It may be, I'd have to take a look at it again and run around with the tape and see what I can fit where and maybe make some changes to the building, but like I said, I haven't really pursued any plans yet because I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to put it where I'm requesting it, so figured I should get this taken care of first before spending any money on the plan.
Okay. One of the challenges that we have is that these variances are not specific to the one person's ownership of that property. It extends beyond, if the house is sold, the variance is going to still be there. If the neighbors change, the variance would still be there. So the new neighbors would have a problem. So those are the considerations that the boards have to make when granting these variances. And along with the tests that you read in the application. And does anybody have anything they want to discuss further on the?
I think we would like some more specifics.
Yeah. Because it seems like it's more of a conceptual plan at this time.
I gotta tell you, I've reached the limit of time. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go any further with the process, so.
Yeah,
I started this in January, we're now heading for May or June, and I gotta get busy doing something, so. Regardless, if you feel you don't have enough information to render the decision, then. I'll move forward in another direction, pretty much, I'm not gonna invest any more time in this process, like I said, I started this in January. And February was a no answer and a turn away with the wrong form and the wrong information. You know, and then it was supposed to be a March meeting, and then I didn't even get a phone call, got an email an hour and 12 minutes before saying no meeting. So, you know, and now I'm into April, then I'll be into May, then I'll be into June. So the timeliness, I just can't do it.
Right. But you have to appreciate that we're trying to understand the hardship that you would face if you were not granted this variance. Yet, and I understand the catch 22. I mean, you didn't want to come to us with specific plans. So the plans, so even though you've had all this time, you haven't come up with specific options to present us. And I still don't understand the total hardship that you would face if it was not granted. So, you know, is it a totally no-go? You say you need to get going. Does that mean you're going to compromise? So you're gonna spill,
I thought, wind up digging up having to relocate my utilities, pull my well line out, pull my gas line out. And that obviously needs some more fill, so I'm just gonna go with a smaller building then. You know, which will obviously mean less of a financial return in the event I ever sell the house. Square footage equals money. But I can't really come up and give you a hard plan until I know what I'm gonna be able to do for a building. I can't come up with a building until I know whether or not I have the space, so. You know, that's why I kind of went with a 30 by 30 square. As far as, that is the hardship though, you know,
Well-
I would say mostly financial.
well, I mean, you presented us with a 30 by 40. So now you're mentioning 30 by 30, and
Well, I
that's
meant-
what I was trying to
I meant-
figure out. Was a 30 by 30 possibly doable? And would the 30 by 30 pull that corner in so that, you know, you don't have an issue?
Yeah, I mean, even with the 30 by
You know?
30 building, I think I'd still be kind of tight. I'm trying to, you know, basically make it about 30 by 40 so I can get the lean-to structure for stuff for outdoor storage, yeah.
So is your official position that you're gonna withdraw the appeals process at this point because you don't want to keep dragging this on? So if it's for the record, we would close this out as a withdrawal? Or do you want to
I
risk
suppose
this?
if I took it as a withdrawal, but I just, like I said, I can't see going another 30 days.
All right,
I mean, I started this process in January. I just, to be here, sitting
Yeah.
here in the middle of April, still talking about this,
all
not
right.
spinning my wheels, you know, at some point I gotta cut bait, so. I mean, if I say, just do what you gotta do, there should be the denial.
Well,
if
as
that's what
it
you plan to
stands,
do,
if we-
and then
if-
it might muddy the waters for me in the
Yeah.
future. because
If
then I-
we voted right now, you'd not get your variance because there's not enough evidence for us to look at.
Yeah,
So
I don't understand what
um,
other evidence you really need to have,
a specific plan, other options potentially.
other options,
Yeah.
as far as what?
She just discussed with you the size
Just explain
differences,
the
right?
options.
So-
I mean, I think I've fairly well
Yeah.
articulated what I have for abilities to do based on the shape of the property. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't think I'm asking for a lot. It's fairly simple. I mean, I'm asking for a 50% reduction. I don't know how complicated that should be. What else is it you want to see? Drawings? You know,
All right.
Drawings would help. And
I have
in,
another 30 days.
and to make a case about a hardship, you know, to say that this is the structure you would ideally like to build. And anything short of that structure doesn't meet the intent, you know, of your intent for building it in the first place because of all these reasons that you've mentioned. It's sort of like you're coming to us asking for us to grant you a variance and then you'll build it as big as you can, given the variance. And we're thinking about it the reverse way. Like, what do you want to build? And have you considered other options? And why have you ruled those other options out? And what kind of hardship it would create? I
Yeah,
don't know if I'm speaking for the rest of
well,
the,
the burden of proof lies on the,
Articulates my thinking.
yeah.
all right. So I would say that.
I mean, I could come back in another 30 days, do one more continuance. I mean, I doubt that I'd be able to break ground that fast anyway, so. I don't wanna cut my nose off to spite my face, but I also don't wanna waste any time. I mean, for me to come back in 30 days, if you don't like what I give you for a drawing, because I don't know what else to do other than say, well, here's a 30 by 40 square on a piece of paper. What else do you want to see? Smaller squares, smaller alternative buildings? I mean, I've got pretty much one location where I can put the building. And it's tight and it's gonna be, but if I have to stay at the 30-foot setback as it stands, then it's gonna be a smaller building. If I could have the variance, then I'm gonna build a building that's 30 by 40, as I had originally said, so. I don't know what else I could give you as far as drawings to show you, other than a couple of more scratches on a piece of paper, which is, I don't know how productive or useful that is. I mean, I just don't know if any other information would make you feel any different about it in a month's time, so.
Okay. Would you like to continue the matter as a board or make a vote today and
I'd grant a variance, I mean, an extension.
extension, yeah? So what we'll do then is we'll give you the 30 days because your time is precious, right? And we'll allow you to build a little bit more presentation so that you can prove then the hardship, because the burden of proof is on the appellant to show that these criteria are thoroughly met, because variances aren't just given out quite easily. It's quite a process to prove those, but so we'll continue it for 30 days if that's what you'd like to do.
It's not what I want to do, but I will.
But that's your option. And the other option is to just withdraw the appeal and your 30-foot setback remains what it is. It's in the code.
Hmm.
And there's gonna be no variance at all. Like that's the alternative. So,
Well, I think I'll go the route of the extension, be the wise thing to do, I think. And then I have 30 days to decide whether or not I want to make any additional effort for it,
okay,
so.
I move that we grant.
But I'd like to know specifically, what is it that you want to see? Because I don't want to waste my time drawing scritches or scratches on paper that you're not going to be satisfied with or happy with in 30 days.
I think a two-scale layout.
Of the building itself that I'm proposing and its exact
And
location.
its position relative to the lot line.
I can do that.
like
Sure.
like the distance from like where the home sits, the distance from the home, so we can look specifically at how that's going to sit on the property. So that we have actual to scale drawings and
Mhm.
we can figure out whether or not that variance is gonna be suitable for that property, right? Because if there are other options available, then it doesn't make the variance necessary in most cases.
And including that overhang, because until you mentioned that, that wasn't even like in your
It's still part of
drawing.
The building, it's the footprint.
So it's within the 30-40
It
right
is,
now in your mind.
yeah. It's
Okay.
not in addition.
It's not in
to the
addition to it.
footprint. Just be on one side of the building.
And you need the overhang. Is that more aesthetic? Is the overhang more aesthetic or is it?
I'm gonna use it for storage. I have a boat, tractor, some other things, snow plow that I don't wanna, have completely outdoors.
So the overhang would be
undercover.
fairly large.
No, it'd be 12 feet. It'd run the length of probably one side of the building.
But on the 40-foot
On
side or the
40-foot
30-foot
of the
side?
building, correct, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it sounds like what we're asking you for is something you're gonna have to do anyway when you just, you have to make a definitive plan about what you want to build. Because it sounds like that you have ideas
Yeah.
and you just, right now you came to us wanting the option that you could work with additional more space. But you're gonna have to come up with a much more concrete plan before you build. And we're asking you for a more concrete rendering of what you're proposing to build.
I think I could do that, yeah.
So it sounds like the work you have to do anyway is the work that we're asking for.
I can do that,
Okay.
And,
yeah.
and I think also if you could indicate where the utilities are,
Mhm.
on.
Okay, well, there was a motion to continue. And have a second, and we can just have a vote on continuing at this time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Everybody in favor of continuing? All right, so everybody's agreed that in 30 days you can come back if that's what you decide to do, okay?
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
You have a good evening.
So. Now it's your turn.
Now they're kind of cut and dry.
Could I pull my chair up? I
Yeah.
cannot hear you at all.
I
And
can
I
get really,
have my
yeah,
hearing aids in.
I can get really loud,
Okay, well,
yeah,
I'd probably feel a little more comfortable.
All right.
This felt like bored to me.
yeah.
My name is Kate Flanagan. You know, this is my companion, Bob Williams.
I'm comfortable right here.
Okay,
Okay,
well, so we made a mistake. We built a lean-to on the side of my garage to accommodate this hippie camper van. We're both retired and we're traveling. And I've shown pictures of the home and there was not another good place to put it. And I believe we're asking for 6 feet for something that we already built. So we've made a mistake.
all right, so we're here to fix the mistake.
We're here to
No,
fix a
we're-
mistake. No, we're here.
Hopefully.
Hopefully you'll
Yeah,
be
that's
okay and say, it's okay that you made that mistake, just don't do it again.
Okay.
I mean, really.
Okay, so this one is totally different because now the structure is already there.
Right, right. No,
And-
sorry, I didn't know.
Okay,
And we did it
now you know.
ourselves.
But it is a 20% ask, not a 50% ask.
Yeah,
It is the 6 feet.
and the alternative to this was what? Destruction of the thing that you built and. is
I'm
that-
sorry,
If you had not a variance, would you have to tear this thing down
right.
and make it smaller?
It would just have to be torn down.
Oh, okay.
But I'd rather look at a nice lean-to myself than a hippie camper van if I were my neighbor.
Yeah, so you're
Right.
not that's a nice van though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We just went to Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Well, what do your neighbors say about your,
My neighbors, I did not ask them for a letter. We spoke to them in person and I know they got notification. And I sort of didn't want to put them on the spot, if you will, to say, hey, will you write a letter? I was like, no, if they have a problem with it, they can respond to the appeals, the code enforcement people. And then, and I wouldn't need to know if they did. Their names are Elida and John Zimmerman. It's an open field next door, and they currently let the Spears Farm, or they have some sort of deal with the Spears Farm people to grow corn over there. So, yeah,
It's probably a farm lease. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Probably a farm lease, probably.
Yeah,
Are these,
yeah,
these
yeah.
trees in the picture? So that's the field you're talking about? Trees right here?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fields over this side of.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's my dog.
Okay.
and your, your van, it doesn't fit in your current garage?
No.
It's too tall to go into
Yeah.
through your
Yeah.
garage
Yeah,
doors?
yeah.
And the width of the garage includes the overhang,
I don't,
the width,
You have to explain that a little bit.
yeah, I
well,
don't,
there's an overhang here.
right.
A slight over, does that, when you're saying you have a 6, you're
That's
only
the
encroaching,
24 feet from the line. That's
that,
right.
that the
Yeah.
edge of that,
The
edge
edge
of
of
that.
this.
Yeah.
Yes,
Is-
we're short 6 feet from
Okay.
the, a buttery. Okay.
Are there any buildings on the adjacent property?
No,
Quarter of a mile.
yeah,
So no one resides,
no.
you know, within.
And why did you build it like this in the first place? Talk about the house and the existing garage compared to sort of the property itself.
I don't understand your question.
It was built in 2003, not by us.
The house.
The
The
house.
house and garage.
And garage.
and the
and
garage.
Oh, I'm
and garage.
sorry.
And-
Yes.
And then you added the.
Yes, just last year. Yeah,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
has it been a year?
2 years.
2 years, I guess. Time flies.
And I think the other part of the question he's asking too is like, did you have other options when this thing was added to the property? Is your property big? Is it small? Like,
I'm answering
yeah.
my own question. Here's the property. Oops.
So we're trying to see if it's unique to the property, basically, is what we're looking at. Like something that has to be unique to this property.
Here's the property. And here's the house. And so it was built over there, right in the corner, this corner of the property
Yeah,
that, went on to the,
Yeah, that it would have seemed like it was the most, or the least obvious.
Yeah.
And,
And of course, it was less expensive because we were able to use the outside wall of the garage, if you will, to build off.
yeah. I built one of those in West Gardner for my camper.
Did you know Norman and Adelaide Weymouth?
I don't think so. I was
Oh.
I sheltered myself. from
Okay,
them.
okay.
So how did you realize you needed a permit?
Mark, I think
The
we,
assessor did an evaluation and found that there was a structure added. So I sent a letter out about an after the fact permit. And I had to deny the permit because it was too close to
the property line. Do you use drones? Really? So they can just come?
The assessors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even when you're not home and they don't have to let you know they're coming?
No.
Wow.
I mean, he'll honor that if they know, but no.
Wow.
this picture of the house. Is when you're looking down at your house.
Yep.
Does this include that 2-car garage already, or was that built
Yes,
on?
yes,
It does.
yep.
And so right now your structure is where exactly? It's over here?
Wait a
Like, would
minute.
it be?
This map is not accurate. This Costello Road, I'm not on this Costello Road. I'm not off of Costello Road. We're off of 220. So you go down 220. It's about a mile from the center of town. Gail Mahan, a former real estate agent, built a big red house there. This is going south towards Friendship, and it's a dirt road. Costello Road is just a little past our turn on the other side of the road. And so that map, your map is deceiving
So how do you access your house?
from 220 south. We have a dirt road. There are 2 homes there, ours and our good friends and sheep farmers, the Van Horns, down at the end on the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it looks like this aerial view doesn't include that dirt road. I didn't.
No,
print
it doesn't. It does. We looked at it.
yeah, we looked at it.
It doesn't
It's
make
like
sense.
straight
It's
down. Let's see.
inaccurate.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Very inaccurate.
So this is the big house that's on the main road.
Wait,
This-
I need to get my
the ri-
bearings.
yeah, the-
Where's 220?
I would imagine this is the corner of it. And here's the river. Like where I
Yeah,
am.
but that's not where Costello Road is.
So this is that big house, the red house that you talked about on 220?
Very simple. That is.
No, that's Markin. Isn't that Markin?
Yeah.
This is, I can't. tell.
This is
I have to Bring up the
ridiculous
tax map.
here. This looks
Property
like
map.
220.
Yeah, I think this is 220.
Yeah,
What you
this
have,
Cascella
what you
Road.
have. I think what you have labeled as Costello Road is Route 220.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be, because you just come
Where-
down the dirt road and there we are.
Yeah.
That picture is from your pack. Yes.
No, that's not from my package.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it is, but I wanted to bring that to your attention that it's not. I think Costello Road, I think that should be 220, not Costello Road. Costello Road is a little road off to the left, going
Oh,
down.
Yeah. it's
220?
like where old 220 went.
Yeah, yeah, probably the old 220, right?
If a variance is issued for this structure, do you know if does that extend to the whole property line on that side or just specifically to that structure alone?
Say that again.
If somebody gives a variance on this project, right?
Mhm.
Is it specific to this project only? So it's only to this project where it extends beyond the foot barrier, so that it doesn't project further on for other projects down the road.
So this is the property.
Correct. So
7-2.
this variance would be
This is-
specifically for what was already
7-2.
This
built
is
today.
Yeah.
220.
And that would be it.
This is
Okay.
that road that you see on the thing.
So,
This is the property, 7-2 on map 7. On map,
7-2. Okay, yeah,
yep. And so you say that you don't access your property on this road, that's.
No, we
depicted here?
access it from 220.
See, here's the tax map. Here's 220.
Yep.
And that's your property right there.
Yep.
So this road over here,
Correct.
you don't access?
Yes, we do.
You do.
You
So
do.
that is this road over here. I don't know if this means is moot, this whole conversation. But so this is that road over here.
Oh,
And
it's-
this is 220.
okay, our road does not have a name. Our road does not. have
Yeah,
a
well,
name, Okay. so-
somebody put that,
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
so-
yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is how you get to your house.
Correct. I'm sorry.
And again, your,
Little lean-to is on the side of the garage.
yeah, it's like where this thing is.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
and the stone wall's right
Yeah.
there, yeah.
Okay,
Now we're on the same page.
Right.
No pun
right,
intended.
right. And the garage, the two-door garage existed,
Yes.
and then you built the
lean-to,
extension
yeah,
on
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
that's why it's in this corner.
That's
And it's impinging upon the property line here, the
Correct.
setback.
correct.
I'm assuming you have to plug the van in sometimes.
We do,
So that electricity is
Right.
probably a problem.
Right.
It's about-
Okay.
It's 7-2. This is the property.
So the van has to be plugged in.
Road goes through. the
So if
property.
it, let's say the structure was somewhere else, there might be an issue with power and.
right, right, right.
So.
And I guess at the time you were building that, your only potential other option would have been to have built up on your existing garage, right? To make it
Yeah,
the height
yeah,
for your van.
yeah.
What is the height of your van?
11 feet?
Close.
12 feet.
It's pretty tall.
I'm sorry.
That's pretty tall.
Yeah, it is.
No, I have a van too, that's why. And I know the challenges of parking it, so.
And you can't make it narrower would be too narrow for the
Yeah.
van.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to tell us how much of a hardship it is if you were to tear this thing down and leave your van outside all the time.
Well,
How hard is this for you?
one,
Huh?
financially,
Okay,
You spend, I don't know, $10,000 to build it and then another couple, 3,000 to tear it down. That's kind of financial hardship, I think.
okay. I had to hear that from you, though. I had to hear it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could that,
It's your case.
Could it gone anywhere else? No.
Okay.
well, could it have been instead of extending, out from the two doors of your double garage, could it have been an overhang in the back of the garage?
No.
No.
Like, swinging
There are
around?
propane tanks out there
Yeah,
and it would
it's-
just
yeah,
be a
and it slopes
nightmare.
off backwards,
Slopes off,
drops 3 feet.
yeah.
One-
yeah. And then that would make a bigger driveway and, yeah.
And you say, so when I did look through the cost information and I was having a hard time adding it up. I was having a hard time adding it up.
Oh, okay.
Well, depends on what you're at. I don't know. I just gave you some parts. What I think we submitted was just one statement from Viking Lumber.
I came up, the only thing I could really tell was $3,651.
That was one statement from Viking Lumber. That's right.
Okay, and there were other statements, but I just was having a hard time
Mm.
organizing it. at
Oh,
least
sorry. Yeah,
In my
yeah.
brain,
Yeah.
to see what because you mentioned 10,000.
Oh, well, I threw that off,
Right.
but I mean,
Yeah.
it was
and-
probably.
Well, we don't tend to
75.
put we don't tend to put value on our own labor.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was something else on here from Viking Lumber about $5,000, but that seemed to be from 2021.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
that's,
would,
2021, I'm not sure about that.
yeah, as opposed to, then there was something for 2025.
Oh,
So I was
that's-
I was getting.
That's not my
Six total feet.
area.
Yeah, it's the
It's,
20%.
Yeah.
I guess to me, the theoretical question is, had it not been built,
They would have had to
and
seek a permit.
Ms.
Yep.
Flanagan would have come and said, I want to build this and I want, 6 foot extra, 20% extent, would we approve it? And I guess the fact that it's already built just adds the additional complexity of the hardship it would create.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm looking.
so it's
at,
almost like,
and so
two questions.
It's a de facto, like, but
Mm.
at the same time, it's an ounce of common sense that you have applied is like, when we're trying to, the idea was they're trying to seek the permit is not being able to be permitted because of the violation. So without a variance at all, then they can't even get the permit. So the even though it's been built already, it has to still have a permit attached to the property. So it's almost like we have to fix the paperwork part of it by having a vote on it. So that they can amend the property sheets and all that stuff that go along with adding that to the property.
Well, it's sort of like what we heard the last time. The person who cut down his trees and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
although he said he had permission but there was no evidence that he did. But anyway, it's sort of like, in my mind, it's sort of, would we have approved the permit in the first place had it not been built already? And then, so that's like, to me, like question number one. And then if it's equivocal, our answer to that, is it because it's already built in the hardship case?
Mhm.
I don't know. Sanford, what do you think?
Clearly, the first criteria is met. The second criteria is met, undesirable change. It will not produce an undesirable in the character of the neighborhood.
Mhm.
The practical difficulty is not the result of action taken by the petitioner or the prior owner. And I think for that criteria, we should consider that the structure hasn't been built yet. You know, if they were here, with a petition, not having built the structure.
Yeah.
And.
Although now that it is built, it is because of the actions of having built it without
No,
a permit.
yeah, But.
But yeah, I get you.
Ignore that.
Ignore that for now.
So because of the situation, they would, we need to consider this as if it hadn't been built.
Mhm,
Um,
right.
no other feasible alternatives to a variance is available to the petitioner. And, we got into that because of the propane tanks and whatnot. And the expense of building a separate structure, in a different location. Granting a variance will not unreasonably adversely affect the natural environment, and I think, that criteria is met here.
Yeah.
And, it's not within a wetland area, and that's met. So, it comes down to the other feasible alternatives.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say there's more criteria met than not. As far as,
Yeah,
Had you considered other options before you built it, and why did you rule out other options? Like for a different place to house.
Just seemed
Yeah.
like
A
a
shelter for-
common sense spot.
Mhm.
well, would you say after the assessment that you'd be comfortable moving for a vote on issuing a variance of 6 feet?
I would, would you be able to, get the assent of the, owner of the adjacent property?
Oh, yeah, I did verbally, but like I mentioned before, I didn't want to put her on the spot and put them on the spot and say, will you write us a letter, just in case they were being polite and didn't want to express how they really felt. But I know that all of the abutters got letters so that they had a chance to say if they
That's,
didn't like it or not. So I was trying to be diplomatic about that and
But-
not put any
My,
pressure on it.
my concern here would be, cutting off any objections, any appeal of the board decision, by the abutters,
Okay,
and the expense that would involve the town in.
yeah,
Wouldn't they have contacted you though, if they did have a problem? Isn't that the intent of those letters you send out to the abutters?
I mean, they're not here.
yeah.
how are those letters sent,
They're sent via US mail,
US mail, so
US
there's,
mail 10 days before
right,
the meeting happened.
right, but nothing with like certified or return receipt requested.
I do know that my abutter to the north got hers because she called me and asked what it was about. So, and we would be on the same mail schedule.
Right.
So I would feel comfortable in saying they received it.
And again, you said immediately on the other side of the property line, there's you said there's
Cornfields.
a cornfield.
So I think his concern is valid, that the abutting property that's gonna be affected if we were to issue a variance right now could potentially have problems with that after this. So if we make a decision now and then the property owner is, that we're given is touching,
Okay.
like this variance is given, it's gonna stick. And then they have problems with that. It cause the town problems. So
Okay. So you would like me to get a letter
yeah.
from them? Do we have to come back for a meeting or could I?
well, we're gonna continue it to another 30 days kind of thing, like we did the other.
Could you make it a condition of approval?
Yeah, I mean,
Can I just ask also, how long ago again did you build this?
2 years.
2 years. So the structure's been there and are you reasonably confident that your neighbors are aware that this thing is there?
Yeah, we went to speak to them
did,
and,
Okay.
and we're friends, you know, yeah.
Okay. And the town has not gotten any complaints from the adjacent landowners.
No, I have not.
It was,
received
you
it.
just stumbled upon it during an assessment, yeah. Does that change the way we feel about it?
Well, I think that an acknowledgement, at least from the
Yeah,
abutting property is
Okay.
important.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
so, but I can just submit that and not come to another meeting, right? Oh, good.
well,
it would be conditional
We-
based
we-
on our
Okay.
receipt.
yeah, we'd have to vote to actually issue a variance with a condition on it.
Okay,
Yeah,
And if the condition was not met, then the variance would not go through.
gotcha.
That's what she's suggesting.
I gotcha.
Is that a motion that has been used in the past is the question, a conditional variance?
I don't know.
I don't think it has, so I think it's safer to just say 30 days from now, you bring the letter and we just vote on it solidly and have it done with.
All right,
And,
Right.
all right,
all right,
all right.
I have a question. If we approve the variance, does it just apply to the structure or does it move? I don't want to say the property line for that entire piece
Yeah.
of land back 6 feet. Or
Just the structure.
It's
just
just the
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 structure.
structure becomes non-conforming. At
Right.
that point in time, they cannot add to it or make it more non-conforming than what it would be.
Or it can't be interpreted to mean I
Yeah,
can
correct.
encroach 6 feet someplace else down the
yeah,
property line.
it's specific to
Okay.
the actual structure, yeah. And I think that settles it, though.
Okay.
We're gonna just continue it, and everybody's good with that, just,
You know, I appreciate your time and everyone's efforts that
yeah.
I just want to add that, not that it matters really, but my family's been here since just after the Revolutionary War. And my mother just died at 97 and she's got a beautiful piece of property up in North Waldeboro. And we've made a lot of contributions over time. My great-grandfather was a legislator. My grandmother was a teacher here for 40 years. My mother was a teacher here for 38 years, and I taught school for 35 years. And it does seem to me that the contributions made by my family, I could go on and I won't bore you, but it does fundamentally bother me a little bit when I drive around Waldeboro and see some of the poverty that we're facing and some of the eyesores all over town. It doesn't make sense to me, but I will completely conform and I will get you your letter. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
And I guess that's a wrap.
He was a Hessian soldier, the original one, so but don't hold that against him.
Have to move to continue.
I think we can make a motion and,
I move we adjourn.
okay,
So we're
Well-
leaving it that I bring you the letter, correct?
yeah,
Okay.
and if you have that letter, it'll help close it up.
Yep.
All right,
Okay. Thank you.
okay, I guess that's an adjournment for the record. And